Alrighty. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. LCA Broadcasting bringing you another one of these ESEA matchups tonight. Going to be Saltcrew up against Texas Orange. It's going to be on Ancient. We're going to be playing things out as a matter of fact. And just let me know if the game volume as well as my volume are going to be balanced enough as we do go along with this one for those of you who are following along. But into this game, it's going to be a loss streak for both of these rosters. It's 3 games straight lost, unfortunately, for the side of the hometown crowd of Saltcrew, as they were taken down on both Mirage, Cash, and Anubis, with an Ancient victory just before that in an overtime affair against Team Solus. Whereas we look to the other team's squad, they have 2 losses back-to-back now on Inferno and Mirage, also with a victory on Ancient. To a slightly higher ranked team at 13-7. So they're going to be feeling pretty good about that one going into this, as it's going to be a game I can only imagine will be a clash. A decent enough one. In the level of Counter-Strike that we do find ourselves to play. Main, I think, certainly is probably a little bit higher scale than maybe years past, if we're going to be honest with how these things have progressed. But OMG, it's why not? It's so true. Waiting for everybody to join into the server right now, as we currently have 9. I figured the 10th wouldn't be too far off, seeing as we're just minutes away from the timer being expired, but the GoTV is a little bit ahead, or rather a little bit behind. But it should be fine to rip this one soon enough. Ancient, a map to which I think many teams at this level should be familiar with. I don't think it's going to be one where I'm going to be worried about that starting round utility as far as the nades are concerned towards that B site. For CTs, Ts are going to need to be adapting pretty quickly depending on just how much the winner of the knife round is going to be putting forward as far as aggression is concerned, and that's the only thing I'm going to be keeping my eye on to really break down where these guys stand, both individually as well as fundamentally, to be honest with you, and see how much they have in their arsenal and in their strat book as well to be able to pull out. So, just have to actually quick check into the server one last time. You have, yes, still a good thing we have that intermission pulled up, because there is going to be still a little bit of a delay on that 10th player joining, so it seems. So we're going to wait until the knife round is ready and raring to go and jump back into this one. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Oh, game? Okay. Yeah, the game feed all of a sudden didn't want to show. Neither does the HUD. The problem is too difficult to fix, but we'll just go without the HUD for the next. It's gonna be all too difficult for them to try and convert this one. Hatsu does get into a 1 versus 1 at the end, already having found 2. Not, but second team. Figure this out. Have an actual HUD in game, so gonna need to do this one on the fly after round. Now let's go around the corner at long side, and Metal is going to be able to find the first of these ensuing CTs on retake, though. Flash might go high and wide, pardon. Works out well. They're not going to try and overstate their welcome, though. I think they might peek on the next contact from the short player, and indeed, looks like that will be true. And a little bit of an oopsie as he kills the player behind. Instead, still more to be done. A 1 versus 2. Everyone else having been befallen. He's picked up some piece of utility, maybe a kit. Who knows? Tap turn stick won't work out as he gets off of it. Metal's there for his second kill. Now let me fiddle with this. Alright, I'm gonna have to do it like this for now. I just physically put up the HUD and started streaming it over time, but that'll do. Better than the alternative. Okay, now it's just going to be a little bit awkward in mid. There are fights from the pistols that do keep them honest at the very least. He could still deal some damage. Turn 1 going into A. Punk's gonna be tempting to get it on that timing, not quite. All right. Technical issues aside, we're good. Ready to go. Second round from Texas Orange, though, also not so good. Maybe it was because I didn't have everything set up properly. I'll take the blame. Player at A on a hot soup playing a little bit of an anchor role here as they haven't played aggressively in towards taking mid. Go pretty easily. There's a player on the other side of this smoke at A-Main, but he's lost a player over backside B. In retaliation, they've slipped the net up towards red just the same, so it's an equal exchange. One that will still favor Texas Orange more than anything else. That sound of the runaway back to A. Hot Soup has been here all this time. Nade in hand for that T. That is going to be dastardly. Even a rotated teammate's going to help out in his trying to fire off. Last of these numbers, it's going to be Saltcrew looking pretty damn good. An AK-47, pardon me, having flooded up the shelf from FreeDotWilly. You wanted that flashbang to go over and bounce back into their faces. The second of the flashbangs from the teammate on the site, though, was a little bit better. FuzzyHat may be the next to duel him, but he's numbered 3 players, at the very least, at the bottom of B. They stall out just a little while longer. A boost to the box. Maybe that AK-47 has something to say. Goes loud, and now they are aware there's already been substantial damage dealt onto these players as well. A little bit overzealous in that moment for me, but there is still a low HP, your boy Zell, just on the edge of that smoke just the same. CTs won't know it, but they've got them right where they want them. And crosshair not adjusted, but he will pull it up in time. And next to these players is the highest health of all. And they've been killed out just about as quick. Obscure, a victim to the third. Fine gunk his multi. Beautiful little round streak consecutively in denying the bomb plant as well and enabling them to maybe find them the round, the coveted lead. Try their hand at shelf again, and Kiwi is going to be ready for them if they do flood in, or at the very least you'd hope. It's an AK-47, and they're making their way on. That's going to be a little bit of help as he coasts to the pillar, and he turns his back at the worst possible time. He coasts the has him. Not a cave, but it rampant an adjustment with the ammo that he has left for 3. Thanks for the damage, thanks for the blinder, and thanks for the third round, Texas Orange. Another round without a bomb plant. Mismanaged money by a long shot for them as well, to mean that they won't be able to get an AK-47 into the hands of Metal. The utility is going to be dry for your boy Zell. It's going to be a bit of an ugly one if they lose out. Which is, statistically probable, given those facts. Bottom end of mid, the T's are running out of options. Again, quickly they want to get into some form of map control, and Obscure will smoke the molly, but not continue onward because he has no teammates. Skunk's been forced back by the brawling Molotov that lands in between the cave, though. It's going to be important. That's going to be a difference in many of these rounds that they haven't been able to get a statement kill or map control at the very least. It's a span through the wall, and what the hell was that from FreeDotWilly? Obscure barely even knows what hit him, and there is a cowering Metal on the opposite end, afraid to cross in the same way. Once more, Electrica has gotten up to red. The last time it was on the pistol, this time on the AK. Quick to the kill. FreeDotWilly gone. He wanted to rotate quicker over to red. This time over. Hot Soup still here. Anchor should be at the very least aware of him to some stretch. He's worried about a main, but needs to distance himself from Donut. Can't quite. Doesn't manage to find out that mid player after all, as Electric has been all the way through territory. The opposite end zone, if you will. Spray's a little bit wild there, and your boy Zell may be actually tossing one too many. A nade could have actually gone past that a little sooner, Gunk, but he burns. Your boy Zell knows that. Isn't ready for that fight even still, though. Off crosshair set. Pop from Kiwi is going to be a little awkward to try and reintegrate into this bomb site. With the smoke and the molly to boot, it's going to be a little bit of support for Metal. Oh, the blinder works for both parties. Frankly, gun barrel spotted. Once crossed in, he does have a kit. The bomb's in the smoke as well. He just needs to find it, but he can't quite. Eventually taps it. Metal is inside. Finds him with his back. And eventually shrouded by not enough of that utility to call it a ninja. Texas Orange find an immediate response. 3K required on the 1-versus-1 clutch down to the wire, but Metal has it handled. Very focused are Texas Orange now. You can spot out a sea of orange towards A, both in terms of the team as well as the T-side color. That footstep is going to be a big problem because the rotation's going to come through. Top Super, though, he should be ready for these fights. Is he blinded? They're going to be able to find their fights, and oh no. Everything's gone wrong. Oh, Gunk was seen over the corner. He exposes too much of his hip. I don't really know how this one's gone so sour so soon. Texas Orange should have an easy time at this with the CT peeker in Kiwi to have one on defense over topside that box. It's Metal again with a 4K, this time one up from the last round, and he's heating up. Starting to notice. Relying on that one player to do it for you every round over and over again is not going to be wise, but even then, if he continues to do it himself regardless, then it is what it is. Laying on the mid pressure. CTs have gone down B. Not sure if it'll have been heard by Obscure, but if it wasn't before, then sure as hell is now. Easy rain in the spray, you would think, but he gets a little bit too mobile. A molly to keep himself safe. Hidden fights will be forced. FreeDotWilly will likely burn, and Gunk will be the last survivor for the time. I doubt he'll be living for much longer if he looks to accomplish any sort of damaging goals. Weapon acquisition. Should be easy for him to get a gun now. Nobody's actually going to hunt him or hold for those guns that are on the ground, so there's a free M4 now at his disposal, but he's gone to drop. He goes off the mark. Texas Orange are looking pretty damn good. A lot more surgical now that they haven't been so reliant on shelf control. Loving the idea of A, and I mean, I guess I can't really blame them with how it's looked so far. It's late pressure to be taken in CDM, I guess the lurker, if nothing else, also throwing some utility for them on the bomb site, but he's got 2 nades to throw, so he gets closer to being able to pick up the second of those nades and lines it up as fast as humanly possible. With them now landing, FuzzyHat is going to be sitting inside of Donut as it lands at his right side, and that actually might be a problem because it actually helps out his support of Hot Soup. Flash from behind him, alienates the single kill. The second of them almost comes for free for FuzzyHat, and your boy Zell was just too deep in a main to be able to swing forward. Not even knowing where to look. Now CDM is demolished, and Saltcrew have a response. Spam damage has been a friend to FreeDotWilly many times over. This time it's going to be a little bit of that missing, leading them to now escape from cave. Very aggressive in that engagement, and it has actually successfully flushed out the defender, and also elicited a lot of utility to make this one a little more claustrophobic in the late stages of it. Made him blow open the smoke, player along, sends out a flash, and there's a rifle on close by. Kiwi not going to be able to swing with it because of the smoke that's replenished itself, though. It's out fine. Not the end of the world for the CT side. Going 1-for-1 over and over again isn't going to be so good unless you do find yourself, at least for a moment, in a man advantage. There goes the bomb planted. Your boy Zell on a smoke. You're now going to face to long. Metal, known to be a good multi-kill madman, but this time not so much. Positioning was favorable for only a split second. Underhanded flash with an incendiary ahead. He catches the first of them blind, but Hot Soup dodged away from it. All right, we've got a little bit of a breather for Texas Orange before they go into the last round of the half. They needed enough money to be able to play the next even reasonably. Nade on top of nade, though. Freebie for Willy. Double down on the Utilitat. Flash is not really going to be the biggest of threats, but it has at least confirmed that Electrica is still at the bottom of these steps. Might be enough for the Dunk to take a duel. They're aggressive. Yeah, they're splintered. One to mid and one to shelf. Shouldn't prove a problem in the long term. He'd regained by Saltcrew only in a split second here. Boyzell can pull off what we in the business like to call the unthinkable, the unwinnable, unimaginable. Kind of what I was saying before. I mean, Metal has more than half his kills split between 2 rounds, so how long they can rely on just one guy to give them their biggest and best tide turners is, well, I was gonna say beyond me, but no, I do know the answer. It's now. Metal made it happen. Oh, what is this? The bomb! The bomb! Oh, with Willy, but I don't even know what the hell's happening. Metal got way too big for his britches there, having had his first kill. Thinks that it's clean and clear. Willy recovers the AWP and swings with it. You madman! Drops an incendiary. Makes him think that they've left it. They have not. And through the smoke, the fade does not pan out. Neither will the second of them. There's the same fate. That's a damn shame for Texas Orange, but a beautiful closure to the half for Saltcrew. 7-5. Good way to let everybody know that you're still in this. Got a little bit of a B fake to sell right now, does Willy? They've got 3 sets of nades, though, including that one. Have him actually selling it pretty damn good, having gotten a dink into a kill onto Obscure, but the A-site hit is here, and there's no rotation needed, or rather available, excuse me, for Electrica. He can't get over to the opposite edge of the map so simply. They forgot that FreeDotWilly was here, and maybe they didn't even forget. He just expect him to have stuck around for that long, so silently, but he sure did. Saltcrew whipped them into shape on the offensive. Why the hell does this team have 4 MP7s equipped? Could've got an AK-47 if they really wanted, but I think they're aware that their opponents are likely to be taking a save, and they are. No armor on even one of them, but they've got a couple of upgraded pistols, so there's still a chance for this one to get a little hairy, as they want to get up close and personal. Well, so do TO. 7 is lethal, typically. Given chance, but not a chance in the world there. P250 ever so much better. Tapped out of the round for every member of the defensive itself. He does it. CDM, if he goes uncleared, he'll have a unwanted Alphys, but can't quite put pen to paper. It's a lot of money that they got there, Saltcrew, but playing up against full rifles, and only Gunk is going to have anything to say about it. So, guys, I think we're calling a B-pop or a B-rush pretty easily here. It's going to be that difficult of a call. Aware of your economy and where it's at. Actually, yeah, juggling around the AK-47, it's going to be hot soup to take advantage of it. 4 players to B, 1 to line up flashbangs for mid to give them the idea, the ruse that they're heading that way, as well as blind anybody trying to get up the shelf way, and they will. They're going to be forced over to Donut because they think there's going to be a rush in. Molly and nade in combination. Here's going to have a double, no doubt. Absolutely incredible. All that damage came from his utility and his gun barrel, as they're not ready for the peak at long. They're throwing a molly out in the middle of the open, and this round is an absolute massacre for Texas Orange. There is no chance in which Saltcrew are going to come out of this one on top. I'm sorry, FuzzyHat, but it's just too far gone. 1 player still amidst the sight. Electrica's the lowest of them all. Get that bomb down. Need that bomb down. Really do. Another kill would have been great, but not enough ammo. A damn shame. The bomb plan was really something they were going to be stretching for. Gunk would have been able to buy a lot more convincingly alongside his teammates, but it's not to say that they need to save. Still go all in. I think the call may have a different team in mind. Okay. I don't hate it. Got rounds enough in between their opponents. A lot for FreeDotWilly to be able to do his lurking magic again, but just spamming on top of him. Make the runaway. Gotten really real about this. Does he know he's in the corner? I believe he would have seen him, and yeah, nothing goes right on either site. Remember, he dealt with medals back up to his old shenanigans, now having ascended in the CT half just the same, now up to 20 and 11 as a 4K there. Get them 1 step closer to bridging this gap, but no op for Saltcrew. There could have been one for Texas Orange. Keep that in mind. More than enough for the means. Kiwi's move is going to be here now that he's heard all these nades run down, as well as spams inside that smoke. There's 3. Texas Orange looking this way. A is completely clear. Nobody even close to a rotation. Just now is your boy Zell gonna run over. Default spread with a deep B smoke will keep Saltcrew guessing. Another smoke even on top of that one. Deeper than the last. And that one's beautiful. No lurk potential now. Now Willy needs to leave no stone uncleared, and he's showing his shadow if anybody were to be onto the site to see it, but again, Zell's a little far off. Kier's just waiting to peek after Electricus contact and dodging a flashbang on top of it, so that'll be heard. And still Electrical will be fine. Not dying, though. All of his support is perfectly placed. Spacing not there to trade out. And your boy Zell has this one on handle. Nice spray for the first of those two. Can't ask any more than that. They're already up to Donut. And up to their knees in debt are Saltcrew. It's another round. They lose this round without a plant. They're going to need to save. We can anticipate a tie. A lot of nades that go deep onto those pistols. They're going to be hard strung to get anywhere meaningful when everybody's just going to be staring them down. Likely just fighting them. Actually throwing smoke maybe inside of it, but not going to work out all that well. Could kill out the air. And costly would certainly be great. They're just unrelenting. Not sure what's happening here. The low and slow approach that they've tried these couple of times, it isn't working out. Chances are dwindling to close out this match on attack. Trying now to get through those doors. Electrica slams them shut in your face and says no. Throwing a flashbang and whipping it wide and blinding another. He's got a good spray without there being any second player on peak immediately. Metal has been let loose as well. CDM's just got to listen and wait for the time to strike. They weren't ready for red, and this round should still be in their control. Hot Soup's got an option to head towards the bomb. Where is the bomb, actually? I can't even see it on the HUD. Oh, it is there. It's just beneath the 5 and 2 players. CDM and your boy Zell were standing top of each other moments ago. A crossfire to behold, but and isolate the first of them. If he just cleared a little bit wider to his left, then there would have been a swing just as wide from beneath. Execution, pop and play it. Musketeer is getting a little bit wild on when it comes down to trying to get the kills needed to A, deny the plant, or B, just get into this one favorably. Back from ramp, they're waiting for Zell. There is a player just behind him, actually. Easy backstab. Got a gun with armor to boot. Taking their time. They've got three smokes and a molly. First player doesn't really wait for his smoke to actually boom. He gets a little bit overzealous, but even still, the round will be won. Unplanted guarantees a buy this round and the next for the Saltcrew with maximum efficiency. Even if they lose this one, they'll have loss bonus that's gone so high up that it can't be combated. Tactical timeouts taken at the right moment. I think they might need to get a little bit quicker in one direction or another. I think the best chance they have is getting through the smoke at the bottom of B doors, at least. Trying to abuse that. They've been conditioned to just eat things out, right? But I feel as if it comes a little bit choreographed every time they do so. See, a majority of them actually split in decision as to where they want to go. Two looking towards the left, two to the right. Hot Soup leaning to the right. Throwing the red smoke. 2 timeouts? I didn't see the other one be taken. Better time than any. I mean, you're in the hot seat now. Here goes nothing. The smoke was thrown for the B doors this time. It is not. Instead, 2 mollies and HE go along with it. I like this. They've done exactly what I'd asked. They're not going to let that bully them. They're instead going to get this control a little bit later. Delayed is better than never, as there's one player against this wall for the CT squad, with a second just beneath him and behind him. Through the wall, CDM will finish what his teammate had started. The B site is vacant. Dunk's got no idea. Bomb is down in cave. They're on retrieval. They're on the hunt. Maybe a little bit much there from you boys, Zell. They had a player push through A main, and Electrica wasn't in any position to try and help out. This is a little bit awkward, but okay, maybe Metal could actually go through the A main push a little quicker than I had anticipated. He's 25 and 13, this madman. Gunk's all on his own, and we're not even 50 seconds deep. Well, we're just about 50 seconds deep. This is not going to be pretty. Need to open smoke. Gunk's got one of his own. If he'd like to try his hand at it, to be honest with you, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, but send the next smoke they've got with another one to go with, and Gunk gets a little bit impatient, finds himself, doesn't even pull his gun. A little bit of a giveaway. I had mentioned, though, they do have one more eye. A-Main being pressured, op holding right. Metal now staggered onto the left. One of them is going to get the initial contact peek, and that shadow is a dead giveaway. Electric is still comfortably covering him. They need to go wider and wider, and they simply cannot. Are they going to go on to Electric to try and find another? It's the player behind the first of them to swing that goes down. A 4 versus 2. Hot Soup is very unhealthy. The nades are going to be effective only for 1. Once more, and so do they, as they do lock horns, though. May just be cancellation. 4 HP. And your boy Zay throws his mouse across the room to finish at 13-9, closing their loss streak, but continuing, unfortunately, that of the Saltcrew, who find themselves 2-4 on the season. This game concludes. That going to be a bit of a banger, honestly, truthfully. Felt like that one was going pretty quick and pretty fast all the way throughout, and there was a lot of action, a lot of multi-kills, particularly from Metal, who I think put up a damn good fight, and as well as that on the other end, I was pretty impressed with what Hot Soup was doing at the start of the first half. FreeDotWilly, as it continued onwards, also started to get himself into a new level, a higher gear, but unfortunately just not able to get it over the line. It was a valiant attempt, and hopefully one they can reflect on to see what they need to do coming into the next set of matches. As the season is not yet over, it continues as we go on with 58. I will see you maybe in the next one, but this one brought to you by LCA Broadcasting. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Why Not. See you later.
You're so wondrous. Oh, you're bright in the room. I didn't know my eyes were shut. I was stranded in the dark. You came along and fixed me up. Don't wake me up. Whenever you're gone, I dream of you. Whenever you're near, my dreams come true.